How can we have holistic wellness this year? That's the topic we're going to be addressing today on Flourish-Meant. I'm your host, Tina Yeager, and today I have a special new guest, Dr. Jackie McKool. She specialized in the diagnosis and treatment of internal disorders. She worked in various natural health capacities for over 20 years. Doctoring, she's speaking, she's writing, and she's teaching. This is her new specialty, holistic health and wellness. Welcome, Dr. McKool. I'm so happy to have you on Flourish-Meant today, and I can't wait to dive into this topic.
Thank you, Tina. I'm so glad to be here. I love being able to continue to spread the message of the truth about health and wellness and encourage God's kingdom.
In the second half of our conversation with Dr. Jackie McKool, we're going to get into some practical tips on how you can take control and take authority over all of the areas of your wellness, primarily your physical health, but how you can be your best, most well you this year. So, Dr. McKool, what is the first thing that people need to do to take authority over their wellness if they're in a place where they just know that they're not at their best physically, emotionally, spiritually? There may be lots of pieces going on. What's the first thing that someone should do?
I would say to, first of all, pray and ask God for direction. Ask Him for what your purpose might be, but also to set some goals. And I know some people might cringe at goals. I'm a big goal setter and a checklist person and all that kind of thing. So it's easy for me to say, but even if you just do it mentally and truthfully, goals are achieved much better when they are written down. And I would highly encourage you to do that. And it doesn't have to be a big, long thing. Just do some self assessment. Look at your mental health. Are you in balance there? And one area might be in pretty good balance, and another area might not be in very good balance. Maybe your spiritual health is doing great, but you're struggling with your physical health or even your emotional health. So just do a little assessment. And under the emotional health, you can also put relationships. Maybe that's where you might need some, maybe you're on the outs with somebody, a family member or a spouse or children or whatever, and you want that to be brought into balance, and it's causing you stress in your life. Stress and inflammation go hand in hand, and we want to be aware of that. So do some goal setting, self-assessment. I quarterly will try and set at least one goal in each of those arenas for myself, and then we have our action steps below that. All right, here's my goal. I'm going to lose 10 pounds in 3 months or 6 months or whatever. How are you going to do that? I'm going to exercise. I'm going to change my eating, whatever that might be. So you really need those action steps behind that to put some teeth behind those goals. And I say no action step is too small. If it just means put my tennis shoes on and go out for a walk. If that's what it takes, what is your barrier that's holding you back from taking those action steps? Make it an action step. That's where I would start, is with some goals and a commitment. I always say there's a difference between a desire to doing something and a commitment. We can wish all day long to be 20 pounds lighter, whatever it is, but we have to have a commitment. And then following that commitment are those goals and action steps. Need to be committed.
So, when you're looking for a way to resolve a medical issue, a disease issue, let's say you're having gut issues or you're having heart issues or unexplained fatigue, when you're looking for the right physician, if you're interested in holistic health, how do you find someone that is going to be a good fit for you as a Christian? So, what are some things that you need to look for when you're seeking a holistic health practitioner?
First, I think you need to decide, do you want to manage your disease? And that's okay if that's your choice, if that's easier for you, if it feels too exasperating to do anything else but that, then that's fine. Then you find a practitioner that's in line with your philosophy and your objective. But if your objective is to get to the root cause and restore the body back to good health, and ideally using natural approaches, then you need to find a practitioner that lines up with your objectives there. To go to your medical doctor with your holistic objectives it's like trying to fit a round peg into a square hole. You'll be frustrated. He'll be frustrated. You're not going to be compliant. He's going to tell you to do things you don't want to do, he or she. And so, first, for starters, you need to find somebody that's in line with your objective, and you need to determine what that is first. Let's say that it is a holistic practitioner. And you're right. I think part of my message continues to grow is that we need more holistic functional medicine practitioners out there. Now, I will caution you that the challenge is insurance doesn't cover it. That's another one of my goals, is one day to maybe be a grassroots. We gotta get that changed, even with our Christian health sharing ministries that are out there. At least the one that I'm with, and I won't say names or anything, but the one that I'm with doesn't cover functional medicine practitioners, even though I'm sick and they're restoring the body back to good health. We're just using natural approaches, but they specifically will say they're not covering that. So just save money for that. There's your mental part of the health, is budget for that. We need to make sure we're saving for the holistic approach. And you're absolutely right, Tina, that we really need to have discernment kicked into gear, because there are, unfortunately, in the natural health world is where we're going to find a mix of this new agey stuff. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater just because it's holistic. And I even try and spell holistic more with a W than an H, even though Google searches come up with H, just because it depicts more whole whenever we have the word with it is spelled with a W. I'm just kind of a stickler with that, and I agree with you. Look at their websites. I would encourage you to go and interview doctors. There is nothing wrong. Set up an appointment for just a consultation. Nothing's wrong with you, or you're not ready to be doctored yet. Perhaps these are some things you can get to on your own right now, and you don't need somebody walking alongside of you. Go and interview them. That's your right to do that. You're hiring them, you're paying them. You have a right to know how they practice. Look at their websites. By all means, look at their websites. Who are they about? Look at their about is what I do for people. I'd be more than happy if you want to email me and send me a website and go, is this okay? I'd be more than happy to use my discernment, because I can pretty fine tooth it real quickly and discern, whether they're practicing new agey stuff or not. But even if they're a Christian and practicing, they're a true Christian practitioner, you just still might not even click with them. And so I think going and interviewing them is very important, and let them know that up front. You just want to set up a consult and a visit with them. They might scratch. Now, if it's a functional medicine doctor, they might be a little more understanding of that. If it was a medical doctor, that's unusual for people to do that, because we're just right away referred to whatever the specialist is that we need. And we don't even think to interview somebody.
So, speaking of the practical things that we're going to get into here, what are the top 3 to 5 practical things that people need to do to take authority over their health?
Well, first of all, I would pray. Again, always. That's where the authority is coming from, is from the Holy Spirit. Always. It is not our works. If we are operating in our own self and our own flesh, that's just pride. That's witchcraft. It's whatever. We need to know that it's the Holy Spirit, and only the Holy Spirit, that can do this. So we give him the power and authority, and we receive it by the power of the Holy Spirit in us. But on the physical arena, some very basic things, we need to do these foundational things first before we spend our time and money on anything else. Rest. We need sleep. Are you burning the candle at both ends, trying to fit 28 hours into a 24-hour day? Our bodies absolutely have to have rest, and that's the only time it can heal and repair itself. Water. 4 main mechanisms that the water, or the toxins, even the natural toxins in the body, come out is through our kidneys, our colon, our skin, and our lungs. All 4 of those mechanisms need water, however. Most people are walking around dehydrated. We need water. We need exercise. People are like, do something that's enjoyable, even if it's gardening or whatever. Just go for a walk. Walk in nature is amazing. It's amazing. If you live in the city, get in your car and find a little place that has some trees and some landscaping or whatever, and just be in nature. Go to the mountains, go to the coast, wherever you're able to go, but get out and just do a little walk. But we need our exercise, and it's far more than just losing weight or cardiovascular health even. It's a stress reliever. Like Forrest Gump, I am, stress is my fuel, and I just keep running and running and running till that stress and that fuel is worn out. Good nerve supply. That's the chiropractic part. People think chiropractors just are only valuable for back and neck pain. When there's misalignments in the spine, and probably every single one of us have misalignments in our spine, there's nerve interference. And it's like stepping on the garden hose and not getting enough water out to the garden. It's not going to function optimally. That's what chiropractic is about. That's good nerve supply. And then the good nutrition, and minus the toxins. We have to do both. We need to eliminate the bad things, and we need to put the good things in. It's the only way our bodies are going to be healed. We have to give it to it. The nourishment and the nutrients through our food is how our bodies are going to get the nutrients. You need to start with the foundation. And those are the reasons why. And not to plug the book, but all of that goes into great detail in the book.
So tell people how they can find your book and stay connected with you online.
Yes. Are You Being Deceived About True Wellness is the title of the book. There's also a workbook that can accompany that. It would be great if you do it by yourself or as a group if you want accountability. The book is on Amazon very easily, or else on my website. The website is Jackie McKool, McKool.com. If you put my name into Amazon, same way, the book will come up as well if you don't remember anything else. McKool. It almost differentiates me from any other spellings. That, and then stay in touch by going to the website. There are blogs there. There's the newsletter there. I'm on Facebook. You're even welcome to join me on my personal page on Facebook if you want, under the same name.
I hope that all of you listening were inspired and encouraged to take authority over all the areas of your health and begin to explore how you can use your faith to develop a holistic wellness approach for yourself so you can be your best you this year. And I hope that you will all subscribe and come back for the next episode of Flourish-Meant.